Welcome everyone, this is John from Southern Cross Online. Today we're going to be looking at a game called Supreme Commander 2. It's a real-time strategy game, or RTS for short. It is one of the best RTS games I have ever seen, and although I do find it quite difficult even on the easiest AI, it's still a lot of fun. So we'll start a game up. Let's start a skirmish. The campaign is essentially a tutorial. It is quite useful if we're learning how to play the game initially. So do campaign if it's your first time playing the game. So I'll select skirmish. We'll then select create game. Here we create the game that we want. I like this map here, Corvana Chasm. I have seen it on a few gameplay videos, quite interesting map. And then we'll pick an AI easy, because the AI on this game is intensely hard, to put it lightly. Spawn position random, supremacy. In terms of victory conditions in the game, there are essentially three. Assassination. To explain that, there is a main robot called ACU, and it is essentially our main robot in the game for our side. We only have one of them, and when we lose that one, when it's destroyed by the opposing force or opposing forces, if the victory condition is assassination, then we lose the game, and if there's one other player, then they win. The ACU refers to the Armored Command Unit. With the supremacy victory condition, we essentially win the game when all the opponent's enemy structures, engineers, and ACU are destroyed. Infinite war essentially means the war will continue until we manually exit out of the game. So we'll pick supremacy. I usually like supremacy as a victory condition. And let's launch. Okay, so there's our guy there, our ACU robot, our main robot. Now the game works essentially on a system of mass, MA. See here we've got mass. Mass is needed to build objects or robots or structures, planes. Then we've also got energy. Energy is also needed to run structures. Then we've got our number of units with a unit cap there. One of the main things in the game is to produce mass extractors. You place the mass extractors on these symbols that have MA, and they start increasing our mass level. It's very important to have enough mass and enough energy. We'll produce an energy generator in a moment to power all of our structures and build our units. For building the units we need a lot of mass. Okay. We'll start by building an air factory. Build one there. As we can see, there is quite a few MA or mass spawn points, I guess you call it, where mass is generated. If you know the enemy is not close by, then we really should start building mass extractors on all of those. Because later in the game ramps up in difficulty very quickly, even on easy AI, so we just have to be careful of that. Okay, so here is our air factory. We can currently produce fighters, so I'll produce that. And one of the very important buttons in this factory area is this one, which is repeat the build queue. Make sure to always have that clicked on once you've worked out what you want, and it'll keep producing units. The advantage of that is we don't have to keep looking back at this base and renewing the queue all the time. It makes it a lot easier. A lot of times I sometimes forget to renew the build queue, and while the AI is producing more and more, I kind of fall behind sometimes with that. Now let's produce a few energy. See, already there's one plane from the enemy. They're very quick in this game. So while I'm explaining it, they're already attacking, sort of thing. So I'll have a few here, we'll just keep them building. As long as we have enough mass extractors to support everything, that's a great thing. Now what we should also do is we should build, I think on this map normally more air factories is great. I guess with any war often we hear about air superiority. It is very true in this game, especially in this map, because if we look at the map itself, see those launch pads? There's actually air in between them. We can't get a land unit and go across. We have to actually create our tanks, create our transport carrier type vehicle, and then transport the tanks over to the other side, where the enemy base is up here. Alright, in terms of research, just check this. Where's our engineer? These little guys are engineers. If they are close to a structure of ours that is being attacked, they will automatically repair that structure. If it's next to a tank or it's next to our ACU, again, it will automatically protect. In terms of healing the structure, it takes some of our mass from our stockpile of mass and puts it back into there to increase the structure's hit points back to normal. Now in terms of research, there's our research bar here. If we left click on it, there are various technologies that we can research. It would actually be nice if somewhere on the internet there is an interactive map that we can just move over and see what they all do. However, at the moment, the main ones I usually do look for is this gunship. So we'd click on this one, and now we can click on the gunship. And now if you look at this air factory, we can now produce this broadsword gunship. It wasn't there before, we just researched it, and so we can build that. Okay. So again, we should be putting, if we hold down the shift key and keep pressing it, we can queue a number of structures to be built by the engineer unit. Now we can, if we want, we can go over to the other side of the map, see what it's doing. One of the things I really like about this game is this extended map. It looks so nice. So cool. So I'll just move our fleet over to there for the moment. We should be aware that these are only fighters. They air-to-air combat. They don't actually target ground units. So this is pretty much a reconnaissance to find out where exactly they are. Yep, there they are. There's part of it, and here's more of it. As you see, we can't target any of the ground. Let's just get our units out of there. One of the things we can do is we can just rest or keep the vehicles there, those fighters. If any enemy fighters try to come across, then we can just smack them. Now, some of the important technologies that I like is definitely that gunship. There is another one, this air transport, that actually lifts and carries land units, so tanks, so we can carry them from one side of the map to the other if there's like no land in the middle. That's very useful. In terms of structure, there is a shield generator, which is really nice, protects against incoming attacks. There is long range artillery that actually attacks a very long distance away, so we don't have to have any units quite close. We can just attack them with artillery. And for the buildings, we can do add-ons, things like shield generator, there you go, it's already there. Intel, anti-air turret, and tactical missile launcher. So we can build them on, for example, shield. We'll build that, it's in the build queue. And we just do that. I do actually like this game a lot. However, it is true to say that I find it very difficult. Like really difficult. Even on easy AI. But I have seen some really good gameplay videos on this game, and the players that play that are so skillful. Should really check them out sometime, some of the gameplay videos for Supreme Commander 2. As I said, I reckon this is one of the best RTS games around. I think they're ours. Yeah, they are good. They're our fighters. We can move them over a bit to here. I've got another bunch of fighters there. I'm not sure why, but sometimes I have trouble. So we'll just move some fighters over to here. There's our shield going up. What we can often do is, if we want to have more gunships, gunships can actually attack ground units, or they mainly attack ground units, I think. Oh, there's an enemy fighter. Where's our jets? There's a few here. Yeah, so we just have to keep that somewhere there. Again, if our ICU gets destroyed, it sets off a nuclear explosion, basically nukes any structures and units within range. It's quite a large range. Alright, these are some gunships. Take them over here a bit. Air superiority is very important in this game, just like with any conflict, I guess. So I have to watch out and try to maintain that superiority. The other thing is the enemy forces are very reliant on mass, just as we are. That's very important to attack their mass extractors, because that reduces the amount of mass that they have for building various things. What we'll also do is we'll build a land factory. We'll build another land factory. As you can see, we've got a lot of mass and a lot of energy. So all of these factories should be producing something. One of the main parts of winning this game, which I occasionally win, is having a heap of units. Just producing unit after unit and just, in some instances, trying to overwhelm with superiority in numbers. However, yeah, so let's go with that. I'm pretty sure this might be an airbase. Now it's actually taking quite a while to put that down, so let's take out some of the other mass. There we go, there's more fighters, that sort of thing. However, just be aware, most of these are fighters. They're not... They can't hit ground units. There's an engineer. We should definitely take out that engineer if we can, because they'll repair structures. Yep, excellent. That's that gone. And again, take out anything that has mass. That is a mass extractor, to reduce our enemy's ability. Now the research points, we get more research points when we destroy structures. I think that air transport and increased transport capacity. Yeah, possibly that experimental gunship. Let's take out another mass extractor. Let's leave those there. We should still be producing. Yeah, excellent. Again, we have to just keep producing units. More and more units. The other thing is we should look for key structures. Research station, not really. Land factory that produces land units, so yes. We definitely want to try and take that out. Alright, there's some line units there. Here's some of them. Maybe one, build that. And one. Just put a rally point there, put a rally point there. Is it still producing? See, this is our next wave, essentially, of things. Again. Target the mass extractors first. Or the turrets. The anti-air turrets. Definitely take them out first. Then any mass extractors. Anything that shoots at us, take that out. So there's mass extractor. Did that say ours was under attack? Maybe. Now we should be able to produce... Yep, transport. Transport. Okay, we're not producing anything here. Ouch. Put that on rebuild. Put that on rebuild. Or repeat Q. Repeat Q. Repeat Q. Yep, it's just producing gunships, that's fine. As you can see, our gunships are doing reasonably okay. However, we should really be focus firing. And I'd really like to move away a bit until we have air support from more fighter airplanes. So where are they? Oh, we need more fighter aircraft. Let's reduce that down. Oh. We should have a transport. Have we produced any transports yet? No. Oh, there. I was wondering where the build queue was. But it's already there. Alright, well this actually seems to be doing okay. We may have enough, however. I want to produce more air factories. So, yeah. On this map, air factories are so important. Just because there's a physical... Where's this guy going? Target that guy. And we'll target that one. This is a land factory, so destroying that will reduce their ability to produce combat units. There's something shooting at us over here. I can't really see what it is. Land factory's going down. Yes, nice. There's more here. Alright, this is actually looking okay. I think this is a shield structure. Let's target that. Let's take that out. There's another one going up here. Actually, I'm not sure what that is. Air factory. And what's building it? That's either building or repairing it, so let's take that out. Oh, that must be the ACU. There you go. That's what an ACU explosion looks like. Alright, so they'll never get an ACU back. However, they can still build their buildings and things. Where's our transport? Ah, there's a transport. Excellent. So what we need to do is we need to get at least one engineer over here. Over the other side. So I'll do that. All you do is you select the ones you want, you right click on the up arrow where it goes like that, and they get loaded in. Can we put one more engineer in? Sure, and we have to keep these. It's like a pressure game, you always have to keep pressure on the opponent, not let them time to rebuild. Now that we've got that, yep, let's Move that transport there. Got any other transport? Yep. Oh, okay. They must have just been produced. Yep, so we want an engineer in there. So we can establish a base on the other side of it. Put a bunch of these in. Move that up. Okay, they're all there. Mostly fighting ships, as in air-to-air ships. Let's take out the shield. Shield generator's gone. Again, see, it tried to produce an engineer, or it did. So I'll try and target that engineer. Yep, once it's taken out, take out the factory. These are basically providing cover support, or air support. We left click on the transport. We then go to here, unload, down the bottom left. We can then... Is it left click? Yeah, left click. And that puts them all down. So do that. Yep, left click. There's an engineer. We have to make sure we're focusing our fire on the various things. Don't sort of just let them shoot wherever they want to. Okay, let's get our units, except the engineers, move them out of the way. Actually, they can do a mass there. This one can build a mass extractor there. Essentially anywhere they can. Mass, 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 mass. Yep. Bring all those guys. And bring them along here. Target that airfield. Target whatever that was that they were building. Here's our tanks here. You can see the pictures are quite nice, the graphics are very detailed. And yet the graphics scale really well. We have got, yep, 22 points there. One of the things is usually these shield generators, which is here. Take that out. Take out mass extractors. Now again, they're trying to build something. So whatever that is, take that out. Yep, okay, good. Bring them other units over here. Okay, this turned out relatively okay, this game. I'm actually winning. It can possibly look simple, however it's very detailed and highly strategic. And it's so much fun, is it? A great RTS game to play. Do is target any remaining structures. Our victory condition was set to supremacy, so once we've defeated all the enemy structures, all the ACU or ACU, and I think engineer, then we should win the game. So we'll just have to find those last units. Let's send some units out and try and find them. I'm not sure where they'd be. They're likely at one of these. Units are likely at one of these areas. There it is. See there? Mass extractor. I think we should have won by now. Oh no, there's... Yep, mass extractors here as well. How about here? Nope, none there. No, none there. So once we defeat these two mass extractors, then that should be we win the game. Yeah, I like these broadsword gunships, very nice. And to get them, all we do is to do the research. We do veteran, sea rate, and then broadsword in the air category. That's to get those gunships. To get the lifter, again in air, this one, then this one. If you want increased lift capacity, then this one as well. Yep, the enemy has been defeated. Victory. This has been a gameplay video of Supreme Commander 2, and I hope you all have a great day.